And you can get with this or you can get with that. Today we're playing this or that, running back edition. 6 tough fantasy decisions, and at the end of each one, I will give you the fantasy signal. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can be the first to view future fantasy content. Now let's get right into it. My first matchup is Chase Brown and Saquan Barkley. Now, this is a tough decision, but I'm taking Chase Brown every time. Now, Chase Brown started off slowly last year, primarily due to the fact that Joe Burrow started off the year injured. Now, after the team traded for Joe Flacco, Chase Brown went on to have 11 straight double-digit fantasy outputs, including 2 games late in the season where he scored 30-plus points. As long as Joe Burrow is healthy, Chase Brown has a top 5 running back ceiling. Now, at 29 years old, almost 30, Saquon Barkley will have a hard time getting those 300 carries like he did in 2024. Moving on to our next matchup is Derrick Henry and Kenneth Walker. Now, I'd take both of these running backs, but if I had to choose, it's King Henry. He's had 1,000 yards in 7 of the last 8 seasons, and he's had double-digit touchdowns in that stretch. Until I see true regression, I'm not fading Derrick Henry. Vibes are good in Baltimore with new head coach Jesse Minter and offensive coordinator Declan Doyle. Last year, Doyle worked under Ben Johnson in Chicago, where the Bears were 9th in total offense and 3rd in rushing yards. We saw Kenneth Walker turn it on late last season after Charbonnet went down, leading Seattle to a Super Bowl. He scored 4 touchdowns in 3 playoff games, so it's puzzling why Seattle let him go in the first place. Seattle wasn't willing to pay K9 top of the market, and he wanted a 90-10 split with Charbonnet. Now he's the clear lead back in Kansas City, but he's never had 230 carries in a season. Even though he had double-digit carries in all but 1 game, he had 10 games where he had single-digit fantasy points. Kenneth Walker has not always been the model of health either. And Kenneth Walker stayed healthy last year, but in the prior 3 seasons, he missed time each of those seasons. And he stayed healthy last year, but in the prior 3 seasons, he missed time with a variety of lower body and abdomen issues. Moving right along, it'll be David Montgomery or Chuba Hubbard. And if I had to choose, I'm taking David Montgomery. Now with the Houston Texans, he will take over the lead back role and will get most, if not all, the goal line work. Last year, Woody Marks filled in nicely with the injured Joe Mixon, but he only averaged 3.9 yards a carry. Time after time, the Texans had difficulty getting the ball in the end zone. Woody Marks only had 2 touchdowns all season. Chuba Hubbard had 1 good fantasy season, and now he's overhyped. In 2024, he did finish as the running back 15 in half PPR formats. Last year, he finished as the running back 40 and only had 1 rushing touchdown. He has not had over 250 carries in his career. But we saw Hubbard lose work to Rico Dowdle after a lingering calf injury. And now with Jonathan Brooks as the running back 2 on the Panthers, there's absolutely a possibility that he takes over the lead back role. Brooks was a 2nd-round pick in 2024, and he's had bad luck with ACL injuries. Now the team believes that he's ready to take on the lead back role. He has elite burst, elusiveness, and strong pass catching ability. Next up is Rico Dowdle and Rachaad White. If I'm on the clock and I have to choose, I'm taking Rico Dowdle every time. When you get in the later rounds, you have to ask yourself, which running back has the better chance to take over the lead back role and will have more volume? Last year, Jaylen Warren couldn't hold off Kenneth Gainwell, who had never been fantasy relevant. Now he contends with Rico Dowdle, who has had 1,000 yards in 2 straight seasons. Dowdle reunites with head coach Mike McCarthy, who he had one of his 1,000-yard seasons with back in Dallas. Jaylen Warren has the archetype of a complimentary back, standing at 5'8". In goal line situations, Rico Dowdle will get all of the work. Rachaad White is now with the Washington Commanders, and he'll be competing with Bill Krosky-Merritt, who flashed as a rookie, as well as Jerome Ford, Jeremy McNichols, and rookie running back Katron Allen. Rachaad White has been inefficient as a runner, averaging 3.9 yards a carry for his career. Even Sean Tucker ate up some of his work back in Tampa Bay. With Chris Rodriguez now in Jacksonville, that'll free up a lot of the goal line work for Bill. Bill Krosky-Merritt finished the season strong, scoring 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games. Next up, DeAndre Swift or Cam Skattebo. I'm picking DeAndre Swift every time. He's been a running back 2 every season of his career, and 2026 will be no different. He was very efficient in Ben Johnson's first year as head coach. He averaged 4.9 yards a carry, he had 9 touchdowns, and the Bears ranked 3rd in the league in rushing. He could get even more opportunities if Caleb Williams continues to improve. Williams was one of my breakout candidates. Cam Skattebo emerged last year as a true workhorse. But what concerns me is his ankle injury. This dislocated ankle was similar to Chris Godwin's. It was lower down his leg and ankle. It could be a complicated recovery, and the team as a whole could struggle as they wait on Malik Neighbors to return. Rounding out our matchups is Bucky Irving or Breece Hall. For me, it's Bucky Irving. In Irving's rookie season, he finished as the running back 14, even though he only had 207 carries. In that season, he had 8 touchdowns and averaged a whopping 5.4 yards a carry. Bucky Irving is on track to being a full participant next month when training camp starts. He's been participating in light drills and catching passes. New offensive coordinator Zach Robinson, who came over from the Falcons, will call many more outside zone running plays to get the explosive Irving out in space. Personally, I'm not worried about Kenneth Gainwell. Before last season, his highest finish was running back 44, his rookie season. As for Breece Hall, he's still on the Jets, and it could be a running back committee between him, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis. Even though Hall had double-digit carries in all but 1 game last season, there were 8 games when he had single-digit fantasy points. These are my picks. Tell me which pick you changed in the comments. Like and subscribe for more videos like this to help you win your fantasy league. Remember to follow the fantasy signal. Until next time.